Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brittany, and I want to welcome you all back to the Haitian Community Podcast. As you guys know, we seek out cultural change makers, leaders in our Haitian community, and today we have an extraordinary guest that I have to tell you guys about. She is known for promoting cultural identity and community change making. She has served all over the United States, especially in Miami-Dade County, my hometown, and Broward County. And I'm not going to even say much more because we have so much to talk about with her. I want to say welcome, Sandy. Welcome, Sandy Dorsainvil. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. What a great introduction.
That was hard.
How do you feel just hearing yourself introduced like
It
that?
always feels like people are talking about someone else.
No, we're talking about you.
It's interesting, but thank you. I appreciate it. And it feels good to know that people appreciate it and recognize the work that I'm doing.
Yes. So, Sandy, humor us a little bit. Can you share a little bit about your background? Because I know so many people already know who you are, right? Because you have been making waves in the community, right? But just in case someone has never heard of you, right? In case they've been living under a rock, right?
Okay, wow.
Tell them who you are and where you come. Where do you come from?
So, Sandy Dorsainvil, I'm a first generation Haitian American. My mom is from Saint Marc. My dad is from Ganguave in Haiti. Both parents moved here really young. I was born in New York, and my family migrated here from New York to South Florida when I was going into high school. So I'm really a child of the Haitian American community here in South Florida. I went to a small Catholic school in Little Haiti called Archbishop Curley Notre Dame High School, and my community work and activism really started there. And they sort of groomed me to sort of know that if you're in a community, you have to participate in that community. You have to be a part of the growth of that community. And that's sort of been my story my whole
Wow.
life. Yeah.
So I'm from New York,
Okay.
born and raised,
Okay.
right? And since you are a child of immigrants, I want to know. First, I think you said at one point that every summer you went back to Haiti,
Yes.
right? In my house, English was not spoken. So because both your parents were immigrants from Haiti, growing up, did you speak English in the house or did you speak Creole or French?
I think it was a mixture.
Mm.
I think that's probably still the way I talk. You'll see me switching in and out of all three languages. And it was a mixture. But you had my mom who was trying to perfect her English,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course she felt like she'd be a bad mother if she didn't teach me some French. So it was a mixture. My dad was a lot more Americanized than my mom because he came even young. My mom, I think, came to the States at 22. But my dad was here since he was a middle schooler. So he's super Americanized, speaks with a really thick New York accent.
Oh, he
Um,
does.
yes,
Okay.
but my mom, she's a Frenchie. She has her French Haitian accents really thick. She always says, "Don't make her waste her English." She only speaks English when
What?
she has to, but
Wow.
if not, she's gonna speak to you in Creole.
Was
So
was there a cultural pull in your house, meaning that you want to wear sneakers or something like pas qu'à faire ça là, you better dress the Haitian way.
I always tell folks I didn't own my first pair of jeans till I was in high school.
What?
My whole childhood in New York. It wasn't until I was probably a junior in high school that I finally convinced my mom to buy me a pair of blue jeans. She just felt like she used to always say, "Ne paye moi c'est moun qui travaille dans le jardin qui met ça. Ou
Yep.
pas pour travailler dans le jardin. Ça vous fait abaco."
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then she thought they were too expensive, so especially not designer jeans. I didn't have a pair of blue jean pants until I was in high school, and I remember in the sixth grade, she finally bought me like a denim not tie dyed, stone wash skirt.
Yeah.
That was like a big deal. And then we're not going to talk about the sneakers because I had to beg and plead to not wear bobos, because
Oh my goodness.
but she'll spend $200 on a pair of some Jewish leather or whatever.
Oh, she
shoes,
did?
church shoes, yes,
Yeah.
and hand embroidered church dresses, yes. But she's not buying Elysees. She's not buying Nike.
Oh my
For
goodness.
what?
Those are throwbacks. Those are real throwbacks.
Yes.
Elysees.
Elysees. Elysees. I remember wanting those shoes so bad.
Oh
I
my
wanted
goodness.
some Elysees, and she was like, "Nah."
Nah.
And not Gazelles. What were those jeans? Not
Uh,
Jordache. They also made these like fancy sweaters too.
oh, you
That were
talking
big, big.
about the Australian company?
Yes.
What's that called? Kangos, not Kangos. Coogee sweaters.
Coogee sweaters, but they
Yeah.
also made jeans. I remember I went. My mom was like,
Nah.
"For what?"
For what?
Qui est son besoin ça?
Exactly.
Sandy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy because that paradox, that paradigm of what they left, in many ways, I argue, doesn't exist anymore. So when they talk about the old country, when they talk about how things were or how things are, even if they go back to Haiti, what they knew no longer exists because the diaspora left. And when they left, they brought everything with them, and a new influx of people came in. Even the homes and things like that, the way people live, the way that people cut their hair. You have locks. I'd probably still might get my butt whooped today if I had locks.
So I didn't get my locks till I was 30
Wow.
because she wasn't having it.
She wasn't
Even
having
at
it.
29, she was like,
I mean, I got married
Was
very early.
29.
Yeah, yeah. Like I got married pretty young, so I lived on my own, and
Okay.
I went away to school, and I went to HBCU. I went to Howard in DC,
No.
you know, the Mecca, and I remember her dropping me off saying, "Patune la avec bagay sa yon tête," you know,
Ooh.
because she knew, you know, a lot of the girls had long, beautiful locks, but it wasn't until I was 30, and that by that point, my marriage had ended, and I was like sort of like living on my own, rediscovering myself. And I was like, you know what? I've always wanted to lock my hair. I'm gonna lock my hair. And her not realizing they were locks till maybe a year or two in.
That's
Her
when she
said,
got
"When are
upset?
you gonna unbraid your hair? You've had those braids in forever." I'm like, "Mommy, you know they're locks. Stop acting like you don't know they're locks." She was, "Kunyao Jamaican."
Oh, there you go. That's
hey, we'll take
But you
it.
know, now she loves them. So it's always with time. It's always with
Yeah.
time. But you know, just touching on what you were talking
Yeah.
about Haiti being so different.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent all my summers mainly because my mom was a student. She was going to nursing school, so it was always just a good opportunity for her to focus on school. I would spend the summers in Haiti, and I had the same tradition with my children. My son now is 22,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter's 13, and they would go to Haiti every summer until Haiti got wild. And
Got wild.
I laugh because, you know, when I went, I would go to the countryside. Um, you know, we'd have like ice cube ice cream that my aunt would make in the freezer. You know,
Fresco.
Frisco. We
Fresco.
would ride
Mhm.
donkeys. We would go to the river. It was very nature, very down. But when my son got a little bit older and he was going, I'd call my mom to check up on them, and she'd be like, "Oh, he went jet skiing with the
Ooh.
neighbors."
La
What?
That's
Badie.
different.
Yeah. Oh, you know, he went to this nightclub with some friends. I said, "Whose mother are you? I, who are you right now?"
You
That was
think
not her when you were in
No,
Haiti.
you think it
never.
was boy versus girl in that sense?
I don't even think so. I think it's grandma,
Mm-hmm.
you know, spoiling her grandchildren. But I also think, you know, to having the means too. I have to also admit that, like, she probably didn't have the means for me to live that luxurious, touristy visiting life when I was younger, and now she does have the means. So of course she's spoiling her grandkids. But also, I think it's social media too, because my son knew to ask to do these things because he would see his friends on social media who are visiting Haiti saying that they're going to so and so's beach house, or they're visiting Mount so and so, or they're eating at so and so restaurant. He could be very specific. Grandma, like, he literally would show up with an itinerary of all these things that he wanted to do. And of course, it was my mom's joy to be able to take her grandchildren to see the beautiful side of Haiti and not, you know, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere
Absolutely.
scenario. So it's a totally different experience for my children. Like, they don't even really get this whole poorest country in the Western Hemisphere thing. Even though when we go, um, by no means is my family affluent like that. So we visit all parts of the family. So they've been to some, you know, some of my aunts' houses in the countryside with outhouses, and my son's dad's family in the countryside, outhouses, and that whole experience. But I think they don't register it as this is what people live like this every day. It's not just you glamping. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
having this like fancy camping experience. So it's different. It's a different. They definitely experience Haiti differently. They receive the culture differently than I did at that
Yeah.
age.
Can we talk a little bit about that? So, you're known for preserving cultural heritage, right? So, how do you see the summers that you had in Haiti? What impact did they have on what you've been able to bring here into your work versus, as you just said, your son who's having a different experience with the
Hmm.
culture, right? Like, tell us a little bit more about like what you saw, things that you noticed in your summers in Haiti that now you're reflecting back in your work here.
I think it was just that's what gave me my passion and my love for the culture. And it also, I couldn't relate. I still can't. Lots of times, and I've been that's been used against me as a negative at times too. That like almost like I have rose-colored lenses when it comes to Haiti, but it's not that. I mean, the negatives are talked about so often, so I just don't feel like it's necessary all the time to talk about them. Speaking about it one more time is not gonna change
I
it.
could I
So
couldn't agree with
I
you
like
more.
to talk about more of the positive things, but definitely my summers there shaped who I am. It shaped my passion for the country, and it also gave me insight to Haitians, not Haitian Americans, not Haitians in the diaspora, but people who live in Haiti who have to experience Haiti as as a citizen, like
Wow.
what their experiences are and what hurdles they have to go through, and it just being there for those long periods of time too, as a child and then later as an adult, as a working professional, it just made me see them in different light, in a more realistic light too, less judgy.
Yeah. So you graduated high school and then you went on to study history, histoire,
Yeah. Yes.
right? Did that have anything to do with those trips as well?
Of course, of
Yeah.
course. It also had to do with the fact that my mom was like, study something for me to go to law school because, like all Haitian parents, you were either
Avocat.
avocat,
Doctor.
doctor, engineer,
Yeah.
or nursing. Pick one. And I wanted to be an interior designer. I was really into design and the arts. And my mom was like, no, étudiant bagay pour qu'à travailler, pour occuper famille. So, um, get to Howard, and God bless her, the registrar, she was just like, honey, just major in history. You can always minor in design. You can always figure what you want to do out later. You got time. And I loved history. I had a great history teacher in high school, great Black history teacher also in high school. And I was like, okay, that's that. I loved it, and I was like, I can do that. And I ended up meeting some really interesting Caribbean history professors at Howard, Dr. Carrington, and we visited Trinidad. We visited other islands, and it just sort of helped me put Haiti in perspective.
Did they
And
dive into those histories over there?
oh yes, very
Oof.
much. I mean, that's the great thing about going to historically Black school. The curriculum really, they make an effort to make sure that the curriculum that you're learning applies to who's sitting in the room.
I should have went to your HBCU.
Where'd you go?
I went to Cheney.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
But it's
I
okay.
Uh-oh.
wanted to go to Lincoln.
I feel bad for everybody who didn't go to
I
Howard.
wanted to go to Lincoln. I applied to go to Howard Law
Uh huh.
because they had a legacy. We have a legacy of family members that attended law school over there. Ended up going to um, the to Vermont Law School, but I was having a conversation about this the other day because I was like, okay, this country is francophone. If you look down the west coast of Africa, only 3 countries speak English, which is Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, okay, and Nigeria. She's like, how did you learn all this? Did you learn this in school? I was like, you're not going to learn about Black history in school. I said, I went to a HBCU, but they didn't teach us any of this. So it's really ironic that you're saying that you got an opportunity at Howard to go through the history of the Caribbean.
I did, but I have to also say I took Caribbean history classes,
Yeah.
and I did that coursework because it was my point of interest, and I knew eventually I wanted to teach at some point, and I ended up doing that. I ended up being a social studies teacher for a little bit of time.
Social studies, finance,
Humanitarian.
humanitarian work. You accomplished so much before you ended up going to the Little Haiti Cultural Arts Center where you were the manager for how many years?
For about 8 years, give or take. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. It seems disconnected and disjointed.
You think so?
And sometimes to me it does. But in retrospect, hindsight 2020, it was all connected. And one thing sort of prepared me for the next, prepared me for the next, prepared me for the next. And I've been able to meet some great people along that road that have taught me how to sort of use my gifts and other people's gifts to help our community and to highlight positive things in our
Do you
community.
feel like you were thrown into the fire? Because I think it was only a couple of months before you assumed the director position.
Um, I I feel like I live in the
You
fire.
feel like you do?
I live in the fire. A lot of people see arts and culture as a safe place. It's supposed to be a safe place to express your feelings, to express your political views, and all these things. But the reality is, in some communities, it's also a place where people can weaponize it almost and
Right.
use it to say and do things and to get in front of audiences. I didn't learn that until I was already in the midst of doing the work that I did. I just saw it as I love history. It made me feel good about myself. It made me confident as a young person. And I wanted to teach other kids and to teach other people positive things about history so they could feel good about themselves and do positive
You're
things.
referring to art.
I'm referring to art, music, culture in general.
That's funny because for me, um, at a very young age, art was just about, hey, draw something nice. But then once you start studying about artists, you start seeing the political elements within. For example, I saw uh, there was an art piece by Kahandi Wali, the gentleman that did the portrait for Michelle and Barack Obama. And there's a black woman holding a white woman's beheaded head.
In the foreground, yeah.
She's holding it, right? Which is very symbolic. It's a very powerful political, racial, like you get all that energy from that. And there was a time, I forgot who it was. Was it it was the gentleman that was married to Frank, what's her name? Franca, the Mexican artist. I forgot her name.
Frida.
Frida. The guy painted something very racially. It wasn't racial. It was a communist painting in Rockefeller Center. They asked him to take it down, and he was banned. He was blacklisted. So there's always been that political element in art. But I guess,
You don't know that until
yeah,
you're in it.
yeah.
At least I didn't know that until I was in it. And in my work in Little Haiti, it became political. And I am a little hard headed in that way. And I thought I could just
You trying to change it?
sag my way through it. I'm a Sagittarius. I was like, oh, if I ignore it, it'll go away. I'll pretend like I don't see it. I just won't.
Diplomatic.
Just be diplomatic, not pick sides, not get involved in that aspect of it. Just sort of put blinders on and do my work. But it doesn't work that way because the bottom line is, politics affect all aspects of people's lives, and I was in a position where a large number of people were in the facility that I was managing very often. So of course, people who wanted to influence those people would want to be there. So it was a thing. Um, Now I can be like, you know what? It happened. A lot of the things that happened because I was fired from there twice for
Oh,
political
my.
Excuse
reasons,
me?
and
Damn.
now I can laugh about it and be like, whatever. But at the time, I was like, oh, what got run? Like, what the heck? I was
Yeah.
stressed. It was really hard for me. I felt very betrayed by other leaders. I felt, and at the same time, I felt very supported by those who were trying to help me. Uh, but it was a really hard lesson to learn. It was a lesson that you got to take the good and the bad when you're in these positions, and you have to accept that those leadership roles too. You don't want them. That's necessarily why you're doing it. I don't have political aspirations. I don't want to run for office. But once you're in those type of roles, people assume that you do, and then they govern themselves accordingly and deal with you that way. So things are competitive, and there's just a lot more to conversations than meet the eye. So it was hard. It was hard, but
Did
it
you ever,
also taught me
did you ever feel like you were being pushed towards politics and you saw a void that needed to be filled?
all the time. People ask me once a month, when are you going to run? What you going to do? But I've also learned going through all the things that I went through that you don't have to have the title to have the power and to make things happen. You just have to learn to be strategic
Right.
and to align yourself with people who are going to make things happen, people who are not just talkers, but people who are doers. You really don't have to have the title. And I'm so okay with not having the title. Today I look very professional, got on my pearls.
Yes, you
But some
do.
days I like to walk around looking raggedy. I like my dreads to be
We
down.
all do.
I don't want to wear makeup. I don't want to ever feel like I have to be someone who I'm not that day. Today, this is who I feel like being. Today, this is the shell I present. But other days, I'm looking like Bob Marley's twin sister,
Mm.
and
One love.
and I'm okay with that, and I feel comfortable that way, and I want to have that freedom. But when people elect you to represent them, they have protocols and they have expectations, and I just don't want to have to do
Yeah.
that. I don't want that pressure.
What does that look like for you? Talk a little bit more about how has it been to be authentic in the space that you are in now? There's not like I don't come across many Haitians who literally have built a business around arts and culture. Pinched me when I read your bio. I was like, "Yo, Sandy."
It's not easy, my friend. It's not. It's really by the grace of God. I sort of created my own lane, um, because I didn't feel comfortable in any of the other lanes, and it's just been working out so far. But to say that it's easy would be, or to even give that impression wouldn't be fair to like the young people who are trying to do this. Um, I really it was about timing. Timing. I grew up. I was in Little Haiti during a time when they were saying that Haitians were the reason HIV was spreading, and that we had brought AIDS to the U.S. and to Miami specifically. But I was fortunate enough to be at a school that was very small, very close knit, where our Hispanic and white classmates were like, well, if you're not going to take their blood because they're black and they're Haitian, then we're not giving any blood either. And
Wow.
that gave public
So
awareness
it,
to an
it
issue.
actually was protested.
Oh yeah, on many occasions. I mean, I remember that so vividly, being in high school and the Red Cross not wanting to take blood from us because because of the whole epidemic that was going on. But I grew up in that time. There were so many leaders. Marlene Bastien was already doing the footwork, and Gypsy Metallus, and God rest his soul. Oh my gosh, his name just escaped me. Oh, Jean-Aubert Lafortune. He worked for the county, and he had gathered a whole bunch of young Haitian American. Not in all of us weren't Haitian, because my best friend and her best friend were part of it, and they were both Jamaican. But a whole bunch of black kids to sort of like give our input on what was happening in the community on that end, in terms of how Haitians were being treated in the community, and then also on the development end, they were building the Caribbean marketplace, and we were able to give our input on what we wanted to see in that marketplace in Little Haiti. So I felt very empowered, and I felt very supported in my passions. And then it just continued when I got to Howard. Never had an intention of going to a HBCU. Didn't really know what that was until I had some friends that I met in high school whose parents went to HBCUs, and then I had a teacher who showed us videos, and I was like, oh, I want to go there. They really do make black
The
queens.
videos make you go.
Yeah, and I saw it was Eyes on the Prize. I remember the film still. And there was this whole segment about the Black Panthers and things that they were doing at Howard. And I was like, oh, that's my tribe. That's where I want to be. And became part of the Haitian Student Association there. So that again nurtured me. Became part of student government there.
Right.
That nurtured me. came back home to teach, but continued to work in Little Haiti. So I worked at the Center for Haitian Studies with Dr. Pierre, who was doing a lot of research and a lot of work with HIV victims and patients. And at one time I was doing like peer counseling for the kids of those families that had had contracted the disease, and there was such a negative stigma, and just trying to teach the kids like, hey, this is a sickness like every other sickness. You're not a bad person. You're not this. So I did that, and then to raise money for that organization, that's really where I got my event chops. They used to produce an event called Roots and Culture Festival.
Yes.
And it was a huge festival that had mostly roots music bands. And my older cousins, who actually lived in Miami, worked at CHS, the Center for Haitian Studies. So, they sort of like volunteer you. Yeah, you're helping with the festival. I'm like, okay. And I loved it. I loved doing the music component. I loved the social component of it all, the concerts, and just to see all these beautiful Black people in one place, and they just so happen to be part of my tribe. They just so happen to be Haitian. And I worked on that festival for many years. I would go away to go to school, come back for the summers, work on it. The festival was in November, come home for the holidays, help with that because it was the first week of November, then go back to school, and just did that for a while. And then again, it just the path continued. I went on to work for Haitian Cultural Arts Alliance with Edouard Duval-Carrier, who's a really well-renowned artist, and Maximillian Gonzalez, who's a huge collector and owns a photography studio. And
But did you plan at some point to say that you would classify yourself as a historian and arm yourself with knowledge and capabilities to come back to Miami, to go back to Little Haiti and have an impact on the community?
I wish I could say I did, but I didn't.
It's not too late.
I mean, I think I'm arming myself now
Yes.
so I can expand my network and I can
Right.
do more, but I didn't. It just that's how my life evolved. It just sort of happened naturally. And then one day I got sick and tired. Like I was working for Broward County Schools, I was a teacher, and then I was an administrator. And one day I was just like,
Uh-oh.
just pop. And my mom, I remember she was like, ou better pas quitter bon travail, ça ou bon assurance. You got stability. And I was just like, but this isn't what I'm not because I was always doing, my side hustles were always in the community. And I was like, I just want my community work to pay for my bills. I just want, want to be able to pay my bills with the work I love. And
Sounds very entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And then one day, they moved me from being I was a marketing specialist for adult community education, which I loved because it did help me. I did have an opportunity to work with the Haitian community because we were promoting ESOL and things like that. But they moved me from that to like being in school. I was an administrator at an after-school program in
Broward.
Parkland.
Parkland. Oh, all the way up there.
All the way up there.
It's a nosebleeds.
Tell me about it. And
Rest in peace to those kids, though.
yeah, I was in the elementary school that was around the corner from the high school where all that chaos happened. And just one day they came over the walkie-talkie. Come in for Miss Sandy. Come in for Miss Dorsainvil, because they would call you. I just went into my principal and I was like, I think this is going to be my last semester. Just giving you the heads up. This isn't really for me. I finished out the school year, but then that May, I was like, deuces. I got a full-time working for the Haitian Cultural Arts Alliance, and exactly what my mother said was going to happen happened. 6 months in, the grant money ran out. And, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I have a mortgage. At this point, I have a child, a husband, and I was lucky that the Little Haiti Cultural Center was hiring a special events person, and I got that job. And then 6 months later from that, the director quit, and then they offered me the director position, and then the rest is history.
Yeah. Do you feel like that grant money not working out was a gift? In a way, like it kind of made you make your choice. Like, am I going to go back to
Always.
teaching, or am I going to keep pushing in this direction?
That's a great question. I really feel like, and I believe this with my soul, that everything happens for a reason. And now, and when I say now, I mean in the last year or so, I don't I don't go into panic mode when things don't go the way I want them to anymore. I still get upset. I'm human and I still get disappointed, but I know in my heart there's a reason that this is just God's way of pointing me in a different path, leading me in a different direction, or preparing me um,
Yes.
for what I need. Like getting fired from the city, not once, but twice, it gave me the thick skin that I needed to do the work that I'm doing now.
Wow.
I just, I was a softie. I was just a nice little Haitian girl with my little art, avoiding any conflict, not really wanting to deal with the drama. But all the things that led to me getting let go the first time, and then that gap that I had where I had to fend for myself and just make it work, and then them having to hire me back because realizing that I was wrongfully let go, all that, and then me getting my job back, and then bringing Haitian Heritage Month to the next level, only to be let go again over some foolishness. All of that
They were
made
wrong
me.
again.
Hmm?
They were wrong again.
And again, they were wrong, and I knew that, but I also blamed myself because I saw the writing on the wall because I knew things were getting super political, and I was avoiding. And after a while, people are like, "You either with me or you're against me."
Hmm.
There are lots of times in life where being neutral is just not an option, and because I wouldn't pick a side, well, then the side picked me. So and but all of that really prepared me so that I could be in the lane that I'm in now, where I don't have to deal with a government entity now. Now I'm executive producing these events. I'm driving the train. I'm telling you where the train is going to go. And all of these entities, if they want to get on my train for the ride, great, get on board.
Y'all
But
just heard Sandy. If y'all want to get on her train, she's the CEO.
then they get on board. But if they don't, that's fine. The train's going to keep moving. What is it? One monkey don't stop, no show. That's how it
There
goes.
we go.
I never heard that. I didn't know
Hey, we
monkeys could
rocking
stop
with it.
shows.
One monkey, two monkeys.
Yeah, one monkey don't
Can't
stop,
stop
no.
it.
Exactly. So it's been a blessing,
Can we
definitely.
can we talk about these projects that you got going on? Because you got more than a dozen eggs in that thing.
Well, you should even tell us the name of your business again and how all the
Oh,
projects
true.
fall under that business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I started Maximillian Consultants. Maximilian is the name of my son.
Okay.
In 1998. So I've had that company for a long time. So Maximilian Consultant is the executive producer for Haitian Heritage Month festivities. And every year we change it. Haitian 2021, 22, 23. So we're in Haitian Heritage 2024. Um, Under Maximilian Consultants, I have two companies. I have Route 1804 Foundation, which is a nonprofit that really focuses on community building and community engagement. And then I have Route 1804 Inc., that is a for profit that focuses on development and community outreach. And it's more of that's the workhorse leg. That's like the work that I do in communities where I'm doing community building, where I'm working with businesses, that really falls under the Route 1804. And then the foundation, that's just the labor of love stuff. That's the work that we do to bring in other organizations to help them promote culture and arts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What has partnership looked like for you in your business? How does it look like for you to partner with other, specifically Haitian businesses throughout the years?
I mean, partnership is pretty much what I do. I really, I think that's sort of what my expertise is community engagement and bringing people into the fold. I don't have a huge staff. I have a lot of people that I work with consistently as subcontractors. But most of the work we do is me saying, hey, Mecca, you do Poetic Lakai every single month, is great. It's sexy. I love the vibe, the energy. You have all these new Haitian poets coming on. Well, for Haitian Heritage Month, how would you like to be part of our lineup? Hey, all right, Sandy, I'm cool, no problem. What's the budget for this year? He gives me the budget. All right, well, I have this amount of money I can contribute, and we just want to be able to give away some free tickets to folks. If it's a paid event, if it's a free event, then we'll help sponsor the food, whatever it may be. And that's what the partnerships have looked like for Haitian Heritage Month. And then there are the other broader partnerships where I produce Sounds of Little Haiti under Maximillian with Tradition Lakai, which is another nonprofit in Little Haiti. Sounds of Little Haiti free. Well, started off free. Now,
Mweli ap chaje $10
I'm
kounya
charging
we.
$10 inflation, and it's
Yes,
just it's
yes.
so expensive to put these events on. Oh, excuse me, but third Friday of the month, it's a community event nonetheless. We trying to promote Haitian art, Haitian artists. We promote the exhibits that are happening at the cultural center. We invite people to come to Little Haiti. It's really a machine to bring people to Little Haiti, and we've been working at it consistently for 8 years. The first one happened literally 2 weeks after I was fired the first time.
Wow.
I was like, oh, you about to say I met him there? No. Rest her soul, my friend Sandra. She was like, bump that, Sandy. We're gonna do Sounds of Little Haiti anyway. And literally, I think I was fired in April. That May, we was like, here's the money, we'll pay for it. And we produced the concert, and it went really well. And we've been doing it ever since. So the partnerships really are who we are. It's about me meeting you guys at Haitian Community and hearing what you're doing. I'm like, what? That's cool. They're legit. Okay, they know what they're doing. They're professional. Let's figure out how we can work together. Sometimes it's for a financial benefit, and everyone's trying to make money. And then sometimes there's no money, but it's an opportunity to spread the word, to spread positive vibes, and we do it for that reason. And that's how I've been able to really stay afloat and stay alive by not necessarily chasing the dollars, but my friend calls it chasing a vibe, but just saying, all right, good people, good energy, they're doing something positive. Let's just roll with it. And I've been fortunate. For every 5 or 6 projects, one of them helps me pay my bills. Every few projects, 2 help me pay my bills. And it's just, I've been able to survive.
Thank you for being vulnerable and for sharing that. Because I think other business owners need to hear that. They need to be freed up by knowing that every single opportunity may not always be financial.
Yeah.
It may not always be a financial gain.
It's a hard lesson to learn. And then it's also something I can say now, and I'm always honest, like up to say that. It's something I can say now because of, I'm 47. I've been doing this for 30 years. I can say it now. I couldn't say it 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I was chasing every penny. I was trying to buy a house. I was trying to do all those things that we're told we should do as young professional adults. You own a nice car, you buy a home, you put your kids through great schools, you live in a decent neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But time, wisdom, you fall a few times, you get a few good contracts, and then you don't have to chase every penny. Because that's part of, staying in love with the work and staying in love with the mission and not the dollars. Because if you fall in love with the dollars, then you have no choice but to keep chasing the dollars because that's what you love. But if you love the work, you love the lessons, you love the product of what you're doing, then you chase that.
I think what you're saying is super valid because as entrepreneurs, I think we come up with an idea that we think is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then as we dive in, we're thinking to ourselves, this is the come up. And if it doesn't add up to what it's supposed to add up by the time the rent is due, you're switching it up, right? You're switching it up.
Yes.
And if you're really going to see this through, then you're going to have to go through the ebbs and the flows of the industry that you're in as a business. And, I applaud you for sticking through because a lot of people would have been just doing Uber by now or trying to pick up a job somewhere else.
Don't get it twisted. People were doing I had side hustles on the
No,
side.
I mean, but they stopped doing,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It just becomes a conversation at a party where people are, so what do you do? Okay, this is what you do as an entrepreneur, but what do you really do to pay your bills? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People say that. They say, okay, this is what I really want to do. This is my focus. but what pays my bills is not my business.
Yeah. And
So
that's hard. That's
it's very hard.
a hard reality to deal with. It can be discouraging and disheartening. And when you're in the world of entertainment too, it's it's not just did you get the contract or did you do the event? Everything impacts you. If it rains, you're screwed. If it's cold,
Yes.
you're screwed. If it's too hot, if there's a mass shooting the day before your event, no one's going out. If something really, I'm in Haitian stuff. If something really bad happens in Haiti the day before my event, people don't come out. They're depressed. They're sad. Oh, bonjour, Haiti, they stay home. So many things impact what we do. It's also learning to you create this lane, but it doesn't have to be all parties. It doesn't have to be like for me specifically. It's not all entertainment. There are ways also to stay in your lane and but still, merge to the right or the left and do things that can bring you revenue or that can still sustain your dream, but also sustain your life.
Tell me, please. You got so many things going on, right? How can people stay tethered to the productions that you are putting out?
First and foremost, Instagram, social media. Sounds of Little Haiti is probably our most accurate and up-to-date page because it's the event that happens every single month. So most of our followers follow me there. And then I have a great partner, Terry Lewis, who's constantly, that's like his baby, our social media page. He's very, very proud of that page.
Okay.
So I invite people to visit us on Sounds of Little Haiti on Instagram and on Facebook. So anything we're doing, most likely there'll be information there. I'm still trying to figure out this whole website situation. Every time we put one up, I'm just like, why is this here? No one comes to it. They only go to the social media. But we are trying to come up with an app or something where we can keep people up to date on what we're doing. And then I met you guys.
Hey.
So I'm like, well, Papa fait la vie plus difficile.
No.
So
I was waiting for you to say that.
We're going to partner with you guys and post our stuff with you guys because it's a lot of work. People don't realize it's just another thing you have to do. Sort of like, it's not if you build it, they will come.
No.
You build it, and then somebody got to tell them you built it. And so that's a whole machine in and of itself. And social media has been good to us, but also our audience is not all young. We do have a very large audience for my specific activations that are 55 and up. And some are on Facebook, but majority of them, they still want to get an email, they still want to get a text message, they still want to get a phone call. So so we're working with that. So being on a platform like the Haitian community will help us. It's sort of an easy way to just say, si vous voulez connaître un appeler, go there. So hopefully we'll evolve that partnership. And
we are evolving now.
Okay, well,
Hello.
Here we go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's good. It's good. It's been good.
Yeah.
Well, I have 1,000 more questions, but
Just
We're
1,000?
just 1,000.
I got 1 million.
But when I say 1,000, you don't know there's a part A, part B, part C.
Okay,
to
that makes more
everything.
sense for sure.
That'll pass that 1 million that you have.
Okay.
But we would love to invite you again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know,
I would love
especially
to come.
after the month of May,
Yes.
because you're going to have a laundry list of things that have been accomplished, and I'm sure those are going to wheel into other projects that you were preparing for the rest of the year.
Yes.
We're looking forward to this partnership.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much for having me. And, hope I didn't talk too much.
No,
Oh,
Put too
not
much
at
of my
all.
business in the streets.
no.
But I really appreciate the work that you guys are doing and sort of creating this platform where people like myself and so many others that are trying to do work in the community can be on, because that's a whole separate job in and of itself. It's like we're so focused on the work that we don't remember that we need to let people know that these resources are out there, or that these opportunities are there, or these events are there. So having platforms like this where we can just tell people, listen, if you want to know what we're up to, just go there. That really helps helps us. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Can we do like 3 fun questions real quick before we wrap up? We got to wrap up.
Yeah, let's do it.
3 fun questions. You want to
Okay.
do
3
it?
fun questions.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm going to ask you your favorite Haitian dish real quick.
Okay.
Legume alambi à crab with white rice.
Oh my
Ooh,
goodness.
aklambi.
Yes.
You're
I haven't had
you're
that in a
Haitian
long
red lobster
time.
type.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, that is my
Ooh.
favorite. But with no Belgian. I don't eat Belgian. I don't like it. I don't do eggplant.
No.
Yeah, my mother makes it very specific for me. It's with carrots and chou and militon.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
with lumbi and crab on white rice.
That is.
I like a lot of carrots in my leggings.
Yeah, me too.
You could give her a second question. Go ahead.
All right. Second question. What is your favorite Haitian dance or music?
So, you know what? My favorite new Haitian artist is Rudy Rude Boy. Like,
Okay.
if you go on my play out, that's the radio station I listen to on Pandora. So I don't know, what's Rudy's stuff considered? Is that Guyad? I don't know.
Well, we're not going to talk about Guyard on this show.
Okay.
Go to Sounds of Little Haiti.
Yeah. So I don't know what his type of Haitian music is, because I know it's not typical compa and it's not Haitian hip hop. So I'm not sure what it's called, but he's my favorite artist. So I can say
Okay.
that today, these last few months. I like his new album. I loved his last
I have
album.
to take a listen to it.
You should. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. But you know, if you're a Haitian American and your Creole isn't like fabulous, you gotta listen to the lyrics a couple of times and be like, did he just say that? Like, some of the stuff is so wild, but it's really good. I think he's a very good lyricist.
That's a whole nother podcast, learning Creole through Haitian music.
Oh, it'll make you
Whole
say
nother
really
one.
wild
Yes.
things in public and get
It
you in
will.
trouble. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I think we got one more question.
I think one more question. Okay. If you were to pick a place to go vacation in Haiti, where would you go, or would you go to Brooklyn? But go ahead. I'm just going to ask about Haiti.
I can't vacation in Brooklyn. That's home for me. In Haiti, my favorite place to visit would be Bassin Bleu.
I've heard of it.
Bassin Bleu, it's absolutely beautiful. It really does look like the Blue Lagoon. The food is great in the area. People literally will go fishing and cook and grill the fish and the crab for you on the spot. The locals are welcoming. It's beautiful there. My friends and I used to do something called the Ultimate Haiti Experience, where we would take Haitian Americans who've never been to Haiti as adults or, you know, without their families to Haiti. And that's one of the places we would take them. And it was always a hit. Everyone always loved it.
That's a plug.
Hey,
Yeah.
I think we're planning something with Sandy in 2025 here.
God willing, Lord, help
February.
Haiti get
We're
it
ready.
together. If Haiti can just, you know, if the coals could just cool down,
Oh, please, yes.
we will definitely have another Haitian Ultimate Experience happening very soon. But shameless plug, Sounds of Little Haiti is March 15th, third Friday of the month. And who's the artist? Rudy Rude Boy.
Hey, if you would like to see Sandy dance to Rudy Rude Boy,
There you go.
get there on March 15th.
Yes.
It's
Fun
her
fact, she
favorite
can dance.
artist.
I wouldn't say that, but I can hold my own. I want.
Nous tout café on ti bagay.
On t'y bagay.
Well, thanks again. We
Thank you,
appreciate
guys.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This was great.
So awesome having you. We are so excited to partner with you. And guys, make sure you follow everything that Sandy's doing at Sounds of Little Haiti.
Thank you.
That's it for now.
Thank you. And that's a wrap. And by the way, we were live. I wasn't playing about that.
Oh, God.
And you